Home Depot, I cannot get my head around Home Depot. First of all, it is ginormous. I don't like anything that ginormous. I don't like, there's too much things in there. Birds are flying around in Home Depot. I was walking down an aisle, and I swear to God, a sparrow flew by me, going to its nest up in the rafters where the entire sparrow family lived. Wife, 3 little sparrow children. They lived in Home Depot. And I'm like, this place is too big. It's too big. If birds live here, it's too big. Okay. They never can help you. That's the other thing. I think their slogan at one point was, ask, what was the slogan? Ask the man in the orange vest. We know. Okay, honey, if you're wearing construction orange, no offense to our hard-working construction people out there, but they're doing the real work, not these guys walking up and down the aisles at a Home Depot. So anyhow, I went to Home Depot, and I had to go. They have a stock answer for everything, and it's usually, oh yeah, you're gonna need a professional for that one. You're gonna need a plumber. You're gonna need an electrician. No. Well, then why are you here? Why do we have Home Depot? Why do we have this ginormous bird sanctuary? And why are we having this here when I can't do anything myself? And all you do is advertise, do it yourself. Because they got the chalkboards out front when you're walking in. Do it yourself. Nothing that I need. Like, teach me how to fix a leaky faucet. Teach me how to fix an electrical outlet. Not, planting an herb garden in my window, which anybody can do. You put the herb garden in your window, you stick a seed in, done. Do I need a tutorial? No. Another one, planning for your long-awaited gazebo. Guess what? I've never long-awaited for a gazebo, ever. I don't want one now, I didn't want one then, and I don't want one in the future. And if I can afford a gazebo, I'll hire someone. I don't want to learn to do it myself. So Home Depot, do it yourself is crap. Okay. Okay. I had an issue. The hot water section of my faucet I couldn't turn the valve. It was like stripped. It felt like it was stripped. And I couldn't get the hot water to turn on. I had a friend who's very handy and handsy BJ's up. And he said, oh, that's so simple. Flick the cap off the top with a screwdriver. He walked me through it. I flicked the cap off the top. He said, there's a screw and unscrew it. The cap comes off. And he said, take a wrench and pull out the plug. And literally, verbatim, exactly what he said to do. There was like a little spark plug looking thing in the faucet. And sure enough, the top was stripped. And he said, you need to replace that. Christopher Ramos, love you. You need to replace that valve. And I was like, well, where can I get one? And he was like, Home Depot. And I thought, great. Okay, I'm going to go to Home Depot. But I'm not going to ask anybody. I'm going to find it myself. So, because I hate asking people for anything, because nobody knows where anything is. I don't know why. Where do they hire these people? Where do these people come from that all the stores hire? It's not just Home Depot. It's every single store in the world that you go to. When you ask for help, there's a salesperson like, wait, what? No, we don't have that. But I know you do have it. I just bought it here last week. I know you have it. I just don't remember what aisle it was in. Now, do I have to go up every single aisle in this Michael's, in this Joann's? Do I need to do this? I know you have it. It's a hot glue stick. It's about this big. It's for crafting. I was here. Don't tell me you don't have it. Anyhow, I am scouring the aisles. Now, the weird thing about Home Depot is they have these giant banners in there. And the banners are huge, orange banners with white lettering that say plumbing, electrical, tools, appliances. And the wackadoo thing is this. If you're standing under the plumbing banner and you look down the aisle, it ain't plumbing. Who designs this? It ain't plumbing. So I was like, oh my God. So I did walk up and down, and I have to have a cart with me. I call it a cart, not a buggy. I don't want to be friends with you if you call that a buggy. Who calls it a buggy? I have my cart. It's like my walker. walking up and down the aisle, walking up and down the aisle, walking up and down the aisle. I get to the plumbing aisle. Doesn't say plumbing, but I can tell it's plumbing because there's a toilet. And I'm looking at these little tiny bags that literally are from the floor to the ceiling that is so high. And I'm like scouring each and every one. And I find what looks like my valve, and I'm like, yes! And I pull it off the wall, but it says at the top, cold water only. Well, you think that makes me upset? No, that makes me happy. Because if they have a cold water one, there's gotta be a hot water one, right? No! I can't find the hot water one. I literally look at every single one, and I put it back. And I rued the day that the little mom and pop hardware stores, do you remember them? They were the best. You walked in there and a guy named Scully knew where everything was. One man. Didn't need an army, he didn't have an orange coat, and no birds were flocking in the local hardware store. Scully knew where everything was. I had a screw literally, it was this big. It was this big, I don't remember what it was for, but I said, Scully, you got this screw? Scully took it and looked it up, handed it back to me, didn't even need to take it with him. And he knew where that screw was. He walked to a wall, people, a wall of drawers this big. And looking, he found it, asked for it again, handed it me back, checked it, good word, checked it, and said, here is your screw. Now, do you need the bottom part that goes with it? I think the nut, whatever they call it. And I said, well, let's just get it in case. Well, how much is it? Well, this is 25 and this is 15. 40 cents, fine. And then Scully reached underneath the counter and pulled out a paper bag. A paper bag that looked like a shopping bag, but it was this big. I was obsessed with hardware store bags. And he took the 2 screws in there and he folded the bag. I gave him 45 cents. I could hear the grinding of the keys he was going to make in about a second, and handed me the bag. And I walked out with my little hardware store bag like, gibbity gobbity goose, Scully, thank you. No, honey, not at Home Depot. Too much. At Home Depot, I had to find somebody up and down the aisles because the guy in the orange vest, he could help you if you can find him. I am up and down the aisles. I find someone. And I said, sir, can you please help me in the plumbing? I swear to you, he says this to me. Well, I hope I can because I'm a retired plumber. I said, oh, thank goodness you're a retired plumber. I have stripped my hot water valve off my faucet. And he picks it up, and he was like, we don't have that. I'm like, Scully? I wish it was Scully. I know. I was like, well, can I show you the aisle that I found? Can you please just come with me? Please. So he comes with me, and I said, here, like, I know it's on this wall. He literally went for the same one that I picked that said cold water, and he said, oh, here you go. And I said, well, this says for cold water. And he's like, oh, you want hot water? And I was like, uh-huh. Kind of want to tell you from the beginning. And he said, oh, no, you're going to need a plumber for that. There you go. There's that stock answer. I don't want to hear that stock answer. And I was like, okay, I don't think I'm going to need a plumber for that. But no, yeah, hot water, very dangerous. You better call somebody. Here's my card, like when I'm off. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll call the plumber. And I waited for him to leave. And I looked at that giant aisle, that giant wall of products. And what did I do? I went and got the Home Depot ladder. You know that rickety, wobbly ladder that's always in the front of the thing you want to get and you got to move it? I got that ladder. And I rode it all the way over there and I climbed up that thing. And for a good 20 minutes, I sat there. I looked at every single teeny, tiny plastic package that they had on that wall, and let me tell you something, lo and behold, I found that same valve, and it said, hot water only. Yay! I climbed off the ladder. I walked out to pay. Did they give me a teeny tiny bag? No, they gave me a ginormous plastic bag. It was huge for about this big. I said, excess. And a receipt that was this long, I mean, about the same size as a CVS receipt. No, too much. And I walked home, and I didn't walk home. There's the lie in the story. I got home, and I put the valve in the faucet. I put the lever back on. I put the screw in. I put the cap back on. I turned my hot water on. It worked. I fixed my faucet. I fixed my faucet. Took me all day, but I did it. I was so proud of myself. It reminded me of a t-shirt I had growing up that said, I fixed Farrah's faucet.